And we're going to talk about the brilliance of Japanese players in the league. 19 in the league this season. I know you've been flatmates with one of them last season, at least, Kiko Seike. And now this season with Kumagai too, at London City. What is it about these Japanese players that's making them want to come and play in the WSL at the moment?
Well, I remember speaking to Saiki Kumagai, who is my now teammate, and she was talking about how in Japanese culture, the physicality of the game wasn't their strong point. Technically, they were very good and got to latter stages of tournaments. And in 2011, they won it. But since then, they've gone out semi-finals, quarter-finals, and they recognise that actually, as a nation, they need to be stronger, more physical. And what more can the WSL offer you? Each and every week, teams are going to come at you, going to be physical, and that can only help you as a player grow. So
a concerted effort to come and play here. I mean, we've talked about agent Emma Hayes before sending American players to come over and play in the WSL. But what are you seeing from these players that's actually also benefiting the teams they're playing for?
Well, I think Keats touched on it there. The physicality of the league in England has become almost like a level playing field now. Like every team is full-time, professional, like resourceful behind the scenes in terms of getting the players up to speed. If you think earlier on when the WSL began, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, you know, they were stretches away from teams because they were physically really dominant and superior. That's just not existing anymore. Every team is physically competent, physically able to stay in games and be in games for 90 minutes. So that then presents the challenge of how do you win games? A lot of these, all of these Japanese players are technically very gifted, which makes them tactically versatile, which then gives coaches the opportunity to experiment, play different systems, dominate possession of the ball. Their game intelligence, I'm just looking at the names on here. We obviously look at the ones at Manchester City. You know, Miyazawa's impact at Manchester United, Fuka Nagano's impact. I think she's having a wonderful season at Liverpool this year. And they're absolute joy to watch. And long may this continue because they are unbelievable. And I think one we're going to look at tonight, Honoka Hayashi at Everton, who for me, again, is having another superb season. So they're absolute joy to watch.
So we could see 7 players from Japan take to the pitch tonight. Let's talk about your old flatmate then, at Brighton, Kiko Seike. I used to love talking to you on the podcast, and she'd be in the background chatting away. She'd be making dinner. She seemed like a really humble person, a lovely teammate to have around. But what's she doing on the pitch?
I think Kiko's strength across all 3 front positions is a power and a pace, and they're 2 attributes that you wouldn't necessarily say about a Japanese player. So I think Kiko is very different in terms of her strengths. Her main strengths is going forward, attacking the space rather than ball at feet, creating the space for others. But her finishing ability is second to none in training from any angle, and some angles you're like, no way, Kiko, don't shoot from there. I'm shouting, don't shoot, top corner. Okay, Kiko, shoot. You know, so it's her ability to score goals, and we've seen she's got 30 appearances in the WSL, 10 goals. It's like, you know, she's made impact for Brighton. I'm sure tonight she'll want to get a hat-trick like she did in the first game of the season last year against Everton.
You talked before about Dario Vidosic and how great he is as a coach. Did he adapt style to try and, you know, play to her strengths?
Yeah, he did. And you've seen also this season, Kiko can play off the wings. That is a strength of hers, beating players. But she's also come inside and they've utilised less ball possession lower on the pitch and more direct play to get it in behind and get the team up the pitch. And I think that's what the best coaches do. They find ways to get their best players, their goal scorers, in front of goal in the box.
You mentioned Hayashi at Everton. Again, similarly, what sort of strength does she have? Clearly, we know the Japanese players are loved at Everton.
Yeah, they are. I think they've had a wonderful impact at Everton. And again, I sit here and I expect Everton to be higher up in the league because of the players and the quality they've got in the side, like Hayashi. Her ability to manipulate the midfield, she's done it in games. She's also done it in games against big teams. You know, the Manchester City, she did it earlier in the season at Goodison Park. She's got a wonderful technical ability. And one thing that stands out to me is her work rate. She runs a hell of a lot on the pitch. And interestingly, making the move over to Europe, Japan via Sweden and then to the WSL, which probably helped her compete in games like this. You can see her switch of play. This bit here, just really neat, tidy technician, forward pass, finds a teammate. You know, she's just always on the move, knows what she wants to do next, and then she's a goal threat. This is a wonderful finish. Absolutely wonderful finish to get Everton back in the game against Arsenal earlier in the season. And I think that just highlights her quality. And I'm sure she's very well liked amongst her teammates. And yeah, she'll be a player to look out for tonight in terms of, can she dictate the play? If she can dictate the play, Everton have got a chance to win this tonight.